Today I'm in the S-Class and let's talk about the S-Class for a sec. I'm absolutely loving this car. I've done about maybe as much as 200 miles in it yesterday. I had to go see someone in Braintree in Essex. I've done that and I had another journey to do when I got back from there, so I was literally in this car all day yesterday, and like, as an all-rounder it's brilliant. It's not like the type of car that I thought I'd bond with too well, but I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It's obviously really comfortable. You've got all this loads of spec. You've got everything you could possibly want in here. It's obviously comfortable for passengers. It's pretty good on fuel, and it's pretty powerful as well. When you put your foot down, it's got like plenty of torque. So great car, great all-rounder. But yeah, so I'm in the S-Class, and today I'm going to, I don't really know too much what I'm doing today. I'm going to pick up a car from Camford Car Care. They were the guys next to Tyres Direct in Sunham Park that fitted the battery on the Hummer a few weeks ago. And then I know I've got to take the Golf R, the manual Golf R, the second manual Golf R, the blue one. I've got to take that to Volkswagen in Bedford later for a service. So that's pretty much my day. So we'll see, hopefully it all goes to plan and we'll see what happens. And that's it. Right, are you ready to see what car I'm driving now? A Mercedes E320. Is it a diesel? It is a diesel. It's a diesel. Let's just so I can see where I'm at. That looks alright, I think. Let's readjust the camera. Readjust the seat as well. This is horrible. Let's get the engine started first. Nice car, isn't it? I mean, it has got a little bit of body damage on the back, but what I'll do is, that's a really common problem with these cars. When you start them, they make this horrible sound. I don't actually know what it is. I think it's something to do with the ABS, maybe, like a pump. It's got heated seats, I could do that right now. I just can't work out how to adjust the seat. That's it, there's buttons down here. So, it has got loads of diesel in it. Normally that would be quite good, because I'd look at that as an opportunity to drive a car for nothing for the next few days, but I don't plan on driving this for the next few days, to be honest with you. I think I'd much rather jump back in the S-Class. Let's see what it drives like. We're off, we're off. Let's turn the stereo on. In fact, radio 2, that's always a good sign. When you turn the car on after you've bought it and it's on radio 2, that generally means the person that owned it previously was just a slightly older female or gentleman, or you know, just a good sign. If you turn a car on and it's got like Kiss FM on it, it means like some chav like me has been driving it. And but anyway, this gives you an idea, right? The car trade is a funny old thing. A lot of people ask me, let me turn that down. A lot of people ask me what type of cars I buy, and the answer to that is literally anything. Any. I'll buy anything. I get offered a wide range of cars, as you can probably tell by what you see on the channel. Classics, bloody supercars, modern cars. Like, I'll buy a 17 plate Kia if I have to. Do you know what I mean? I'll buy an old Mercedes. I'll buy an old Corsa. I literally consider anything. So I don't necessarily stock any one particular type of car. It would be great if I did, but as a buyer I just keep a real broad mind on what we can get in stock. So I literally, like I say, I consider anything. So this car here is a great example of that. It ain't nothing too glamorous for a YouTube channel, but this YouTube channel is about a car trader who drives a little bit of everything here and there. So this car is what I'm driving right now, and I've got no reason not to put it on the channel. So it is an avant-garde. I haven't got a clue what that means spec wise. That's that noise again. They do that noise, I can't remember what it was. I've had that noise on so many of these Mercs. So if anyone's watching right now and they've previously had an E-Class Merc of this era at some stage, it pulls well. It pulls really well. If someone's had an E-Class Merc of this stage, you'll probably know what it is, because it's dead common. So yeah, it is obviously a random type of car, a random choice of car. I wouldn't have previously on my channel would not have gone out of my way to do a video on an E320 diesel, but the issue there was I was struggling to get content because I was at work, I was busy doing what I was doing, and I was just never managing to film any cars, because trying to film a car review when you're meant to be working, it's very difficult. That's the first car of the day. Next car of the day is the Golf R with a manual gearbox. Great bit of fun that is. I'm going to drop this off to my storage yard first, and then I'm going to go to Poplar's. We've got a shop there at Poplar's Garden Centre, which is possibly where this video started. Yeah, I'm going to go and pick up the Golf R and head to Volkswagen. This is like a boat around corners. Volkswagen in Bedford. Okay, so left ear down there. Okay, Golf R. Let's do that every single time I get in the car. Spin the screen round so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll click that back so we don't end up looking at the screen all the time. So you notice then as I started this car, there you go. There's neutral. As I started this car, it done a binging sound, ding, and that sound came on because the car is due a service. Now it has had one service in its life. It's only done 13,400 miles, so not many miles at all. There's some horse poo in the road. Yeah, so it's this Golf, right? Yeah, so it's due a service. It's got a manual gearbox. I recently drove for the first time a manual VW Golf R, which I'd actually never driven. I've had lots of Golf Rs, but never a manual one. And now all of a sudden I get two coming at the same time. It's really, really odd. That's just how the car trade works. This one has got a standard clutch in it. The previous one had like a racing clutch of some kind. I didn't know exactly what clutch it had in it, but it's a lot more fierce to drive, whereas this is a softer drive. It's a completely standard car, but they're still unbelievably quick. It's a Mark 7. Like I say, it's done 13,500 miles. I've got an annoying itch on my nose, so annoying. But backtracking a little bit, so I've just been and picked up a Vauxhall Astra, which is behind me. Leon's driving that, obviously to give me a lift back from VW when we get there. That Astra, let's talk about that for a sec. I bought that car off a friend I reckon about 6 months ago, and it had some kind of starting issue. It wouldn't start, and then it kept breaking down. He took it to a mechanic. The mechanic said it needs an alternator. Then the mechanic said it needed a battery because it still wasn't starting correctly. And then the mechanic said, look, it needs some ECU work. I'm going to get it fixed for you. So he done all this ECU work, charged him a hell of a lot of money. I'm not going to say how much. And after all of that, the car still wasn't right. Even, sorry about that. And the guy and his girlfriend or wife now even, they'd had enough. They just thought, you know what, I'm just going to let go of this car. It's rubbish. It might never work properly ever again. So they sold it to me. Like knowingly, they told me that it's got lots of problems, and they told me that it's got loads of issues. So I bought it as basically as a non-running car, and it took 6 months literally to get to the bottom of this problem. It needed all sorts of problems. It needed the fuel gauge the fuel pump sorting out. It needed some wiring redone because this previous mechanic, I don't know who that mechanic was, but if that mechanic is by some miracle watching, it seems like you're a massive cowboy, mate, because you've cut wires and apparently permanently fed power to the fuel pump. Now obviously that's dangerous. I don't know why anyone would do that, especially not someone who's meant to know what they're doing. So that's all finally been sorted now, and like I say, Leon's behind me driving it. I've just spent a small fortune on it again. It's had a new ECU as well. It's had a hell of a lot of work in its time, but it's apparently now all sorted. So that car can finally after 6 months go up for sale. Something else I want to talk about is on the way over here to obviously go and pick the Astra up and stuff, there's like a little classic car site in a village sort of between Weston Inn and Greenfield, which is just outside of where I live. There's like a classic car sales there. They fix cars, restore classic cars, and do a few bits. And there's a car that every time me and Leon drive past this site, we would say, oh, that car's quite nice, isn't it? And it catches your eye. It's quite a cool looking car. And in fact, I'll show you the car. Check this out. There you go, it's quite a cool car, isn't it? I don't know, it's just, every time you drive past, you can't help but look at it. It's just a cool looking thing. I have no idea what use it would have in my life. I'm not even suggesting that I'm going to buy it, but it's a cool car, isn't it? So yeah, we went and had a little look at that. And sometimes when you look at a classic car, they're generally worse than you expect they're going to be. So you turn up, you go to look at it, you think, you know what, this is a bit of a banger. But it's actually a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. So that's a little bit of a problem. Anyway, moving on from that, Volkswagen Golf R. So this is a Mark 7, which is, I think, bang on 300 brake horsepower. The 7.5s are 310. On my channel, I've done a lot of talk about Golf Rs. They are literally one of my favourite cars on the road. They're not one of my favourite cars in total, like all in all. I don't mean that, but I mean, as an all-rounder, they're so bloody good. I get your words out, Cal. I regularly consider getting one of these as a daily driver because you can get like a 5-door. Well, this is what I would get anyway. I'd get a 5-door. I'd rather have a 7.5 over a 7 because you get like the fancy digital display here. That's really cool. I like the Pretoria alloy wheels. I think they look amazing. And colour choice, I don't really care what colour. I think they do nothing but nice colours. This obviously blue is a really nice colour. White, black, red, I'd consider anything. I've always been a big Golf fan in general, so the Golf R is obviously as good as they get. It's four-wheel drive, so we've got the winter coming up. If it was to ever snow, which don't happen very often, but you just know in the back of your head that you've got four-wheel drive if you need it. And I would without a doubt go for a DSG gearbox because I just think they're amazing. I think they're just quality gearboxes. So the way these cars deliver power, it's brilliant. The build quality, the overall feel of these cars is brilliant. And something else I would without a doubt want to get done is a little bit of tuning. I was actually looking at these last night, and stage 2 is about 400 brake horsepower. I don't know what it would cost to go to stage 2, but I'd love to. I could easily daily drive a stage 2 5-door DSG VW Golf R. Like that, to me, it don't get a lot better than that. And value for money, they're a good car for the money. This car here, I think I mentioned before, it's category N, so it's non-structurally damaged. And I can't remember how much it is, 15 or 16 grand with 13,000 miles. It's like a bloody, it ain't like a brand new car, but it reflects a very new car. So it's a nice car. Very good choice of car. Anyway, I'm banging on a bit too much now. I'm almost at Bedford VW. Like I say, I've got Leon behind me in the Astra that looks like a bloody police car. So we'll go and check out some cars in there and we'll probably wrap up the video, yeah? First impressions of this place is there's actually parking. Like most main dealers well, everyone in the car trade struggles for space, so it's nice to see a car dealership that's well organised and not just chocker with cars. We'll go and check it out in there, yeah? So what's your name?
Sam.
You're Sam, yeah?
Yes.
So Sam's going to be checking us in. I'm guessing this has got to be quite basic, isn't it, surely? Is it just like a few forms? Let's have a look at these forms.
This is our job cards. So obviously all the details.
Yeah,
you and your car is on there, and then what the car's booked in for. So we've got a minor service booked today, and then we've also got an investigation. So we've got that the DAB radio isn't getting very good signal.
I was going to say, on the way up here, that was fine.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was absolutely fine. So
it could be an intermittent thing. So what we can do is we can always just double check to see if there's any faults logs.
Have a little look, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do that. We also do a free visual health check. So it's like a 34-point check. We check your tyres, your brakes, suspension. You get a little video with that as well. See it now video. So that'll be emailed over to your email address. And then we get a wash and vacuum. Got the Golf service. So let's talk about Vindis. I don't know if they're called Vindis or Vindi. I suppose Vindis probably the correct pronunciation. I can't even pronounce pronunciation probably. That's quite cool though. I'm ready to go home. But yeah, VW Vindi. I'm gonna say, I don't know what to say. Vindis or Vindi? Vindi. I don't actually know. Let's just check that I'm in short. I suppose that's a bit more of a priority. Vindis or Vindi? Vindis or Vindi? Vindis Group, yeah? VW in Bedford. So mainly I dealt with Sam, who you saw on camera when I dropped the car off yesterday. Obviously yesterday for me, but today for you. She's a really nice girl. She's very chatty. She's very informative. She tells you everything that's going on. She's filled me in the whole way with what's happening. I've got this nice sort of folder as well, which has got everything in it. They've done me a service book as well, because the service book was actually missing on his car, and she even chased up all the stamps for it previously, so now it's like got full history, pre-delivery check, first service, second service, and then the service here today with these guys. So we've got full service history, and it's only done 13,000 miles, so that's helped me a lot as well. She had a look at the DAB radio, or should I say the technicians did. I said that the DAB radio was potentially playing up. They've had a look at that, and it needed a software update, so it's probably worth knowing if you own a a Golf R of this age. It probably needs a software update. The screen was sort of playing up. I was trying to press buttons and it wasn't as responsive as it should have been, and the DAB couldn't pick up too much signal. So it's good that I've got that done as well. They've obviously cleaned my car as well, so it come here dirty. They've cleaned it for me, and the total cost to get all of this done, so for a service, a clean, to do my service book and sort out my DAB radio, which they did look after me on, by the way. I think they didn't charge me for that, which was really cool. Was $11.99 for the service book, and £194 including VAT for the service. So all in all, we're just over 200 quid to get a service done, get it cleaned, and get a new service book fully stamped up. So this car is now ready to sell. Obviously I drove it over, it drives perfectly, there is no issues with this car whatsoever now, so I'm well happy with that. And more than anything, I'm happy with how these guys dealt with the whole experience coming here. So let me get on the road and we'll continue talking. So there you go, I've covered everything. I don't want to keep banging on about how great that dealership is, but I think you get the idea. It is bloody good there. But this car, the end goal for me, or what I wanted to achieve today, was getting this car serviced, getting a service book, and getting it up for sale. So I can go back now finally and get this car advertised, and hopefully get it sold pretty soon. So I'll put a link for this car, the sale link, in the description below, so if anyone's after a Golf R with this mileage and so on, you can go and check that out. But yeah, I want to end the video on the fact, or on a note even, that Vindis Group VW in Bedford, they're bloody brilliant. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, hit like, and obviously if you're new, hit subscribe, and comment. You know, if you've got anything to say, just hit me with some comments. You must have something to ask me. Let's get some comments going. Just ask me whatever the bloody hell you want to ask me. Yeah, done. See you later. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, I sell my McLaren and I buy another car.